Help Wanted, the Wii minigame compilation based on the popular storefront sign. Now before you roll your eyes, if you don't do these minigames, a meteor will crash into the Erath and kill everyone instantly. But wait, you live on the Erath. Well, now you're invested. You better do it or you're toast. And that's basically the plot to this game. Essentially, a series of astrological objects are hurtling towards the planet. And unfortunately, everyone who is capable of doing anything has sort of been obliterated. So it's up to two 10-year-old kids to skirt the child labor laws and get a bunch of crazy jobs. This game is based heavily on capitalism. Basically, your characters go out to the job market, take on a job, complete the job, get paid, and then they can go to the home TV shopping channel to purchase things to destroy the meteor. But it's not quite that simple. They can only take jobs that they have uniforms for. How do they get uniforms? Well, by going to the TV shopping network. On the TV shopping network there are 4 channels. There's a uniform channel, a souvenir channel, a support item channel, and a points channel. The uniform channel is fairly self-explanatory. By ordering items from this channel, you unlock new minigames. This is cool, they're not terribly expensive, and it seems that pretty much after a week of work, you can purchase a new one or two. So you're constantly unlocking something new, and that makes it feel like the game progresses at a fairly quick pace. However, all of the uniforms that are available are from a random assortment, which means that you can't really necessarily pick the uniforms you want, which is a little unfortunate. The support item channel allows you to buy single-use items for your jobs. This will make them run a lot easier and increase your earning potential, so it's useful to pick one up once you've figured out a job that you really like, or you find that there's one you just need a little bit of a boost in. The souvenir channel opens up once you've completed a job. Each job unlocks a series of souvenirs that you can purchase, and they will get put into a museum that you can explore later. Finally is the points channel. This is the important one, as this is where you buy the items that fend off the meteor. However, they don't accept money, they accept points. You get points by purchasing items on the other channels, so by furthering your jobs, you also further your ability to actually defeat the meteor and complete the game. So it all sort of works in a cyclical pattern that sort of makes each individual part of this cycle progress further. I suppose before we get any further I should actually talk about the minigames. Well, each job is different. You've got stuff like a courier, skydiving photographer, fisherman, bodybuilder. There's even a game designer job, which is really cool. Although, that's a bit of a misnomer. It's more like someone invaded the Hudson software offices and messed with NES Bomberman's sprite, so you have to go in and re-sprite it. But still, nice touch, nice touch. There is a wide variety of different minigames and jobs, and it's really surprising what some of them are. And once you master a job, everyone's favorite Hudson mascot from a game I've never played, Master Higgins, shows up and challenges you to do it better than him. And if you can beat him, you get a huge payout. Each one controls differently. Some require you to point the Wii remote at the screen, others require the nunchuck, others require the Wii remote to be held sideways. By and large, most of them controlled fairly well. My one gripe with the controls are the ones that seem to require the accelerometer on the Wii remote, the ones that make you flick the Wii remote up or down. It feels like the responsiveness on that is off by about a second, and that's a little bit frustrating. Another big problem with the jobs is the way you earn money. You earn money by completing jobs. Some are all or nothing, others are based kinda on a commission, like how much of X task you do. And after you do a job well enough for a certain period of time, you can level it up and master it and get tougher variations of the job that pay much better. However, there's really no standard for payout across all the jobs. So it feels like certain jobs definitely pay a lot more than other jobs, even at the same base level. The sound design on this game is fairly average. I think that the main theme for the game and one of the average job songs are fairly catchy, but the rest is just fairly average. There's also not too many different songs. I think there's maybe 10, and that's a bit of a shame. My last and probably biggest gripe with this game is while there's a looming astral object hurtling towards your face at breakneck speeds that's constantly forcing you to work your ass off to succeed in this game, there's no real failure state. Should you not be able to destroy or even repel the meteor for however long you need it to, something just sort of prevents it for another little while. Now, granted, there's still a punishment for not succeeding. You lose half your money and half your points. But still, you can just sort of continue to fail without any real lasting punishment. And that's not terribly good. There's tons of replayability in this game too. Of course, you have all 50 jobs at different levels each. You have the Memorial Hall, which is a sort of museum of all your souvenirs and uniforms. You've also got random events and challenges that will happen that you can earn more money from, or less, depending on what happens. Ultimately, this game has tons and tons of content, which is actually pretty surprising for a Wii minigame collection. This one doesn't feel like cheap shovelware. Granted, it's got some control issues, and yeah, it does feel like the production levels are a little bit lower than Hudson's standard, but still, it's pretty good for what it is. But that's Help Wanted, a game made by Hudson based on a piece of paper hanging on the window of your local deli. And honestly, I would say this is probably the best Wii minigame compilation game I have ever played. I know that's really not saying all that much, but I'd still say it's worth looking into. After all, it was one of the last games ever made by Hudson, and if not that, it's got a really incredibly funny, goofy, cheesy story to go along with the minigames, to put them all into context, and that's actually pretty cool.